Welcome, leaders, to the Women's Leadership Mindset series presented by TK Page Enterprises. My name is Teresa Page, and I am your host and looking forward to spending these next few moments with all of you. We have a lot of work to get done on today, but first, allow me to invite you to connect with me by subscribing to my website and to connect and follow me on LinkedIn, YouTube, and other social media platforms. And always feel free to contact me directly via email or by booking an appointment. So what is our goal? Well, as an author, speaker, coach, and mentor, my mission is to help professional women renew their leadership mindset with fresh fire and purpose through diverse mediums of leadership empowerment solutions and the My Journey to Wholeness book series. However, the Women's Leadership Mindset series is a new initiative intended to spotlight powerful women leaders and how they serve the world through their professions and purpose. So with a goal to help women realize their unfulfilled dreams and re-energize the leaders they always were, this platform is designed to enhance, empower, educate, equalize, and even emancipate, as our featured guests share their entrepreneurial stories, provide viable resources, and guidance in a caring, professional, and impactful manner. So, let's get down to business. Hi there, leaders. Not too long ago, as a result of networking and making those connections on LinkedIn. One of the newest connections, which is, I believe, just at face value, is a highly educated woman, PhD. I'm sure has a lot of great insights. Have done great studies on many of things. In their invitation to connect, they asked me a question about what I have found to be the greatest barrier to women's leadership mindset, and if I have found a difference between ethnic identities. So I greatly appreciated the questions, and I shared a response that was based upon what I observed in different spaces with diverse groups of women over time. And so I find that one of the barriers that is related to women's leadership mindset, and this is only in my experience, that seems to be fairly universal, a universal struggle, and this is regardless of age, race, industry, educational levels, incomes, whatever the differences are. It seems that one of the top barriers related to our women's leadership mindset is our inability, or women's inability, to articulate our own greatness. You all have heard me say before that there is no question that we as women, oh man, we know how to do our work. We know how to do the functions of our work. I mean, we're made for it. We're educated for it. We have the know-how, we have the instincts, and we know how to do our work with high-level performance, high-level excellence. There is no question about that. Yet, I will say that many of us, and it could just be a human thing, that many of us still wrestle with our esteem and either have not quite learned or have not been given the opportunity to fill our space as the natural born leaders that we are. I went on to share that though I am yet learning and becoming a consequential leader myself that has a mission to help take the lid off of women's capacity. In learning how to take the lid off of my own to be first partaker of that, I have discovered in the past 10 years that a fresh revelation of love, or that it is that fresh revelation of love, being able to reimagine love beyond an emotion and learning how to love from the inside out versus outside in, which is being able to appreciate the woman that I am, everything that makes Teresa Teresa, in my estimation, has been the hardest job for me. But in the midst of this experience of learning about love from a different perspective, learning how to love from the inside out, that has been the real change for me. Now, there's still so much growing to do. There's still so much work to do. There's still more things to discover. There is no question about that. But what I do know is that thus far, the short list of how love has changed my own mindset is that I know who I am and I'm all right with it. I am all right with it. I'm a plus size girl and I'm all right with it. I'm healthy and I'm strong and I'm all right with it. I may never see a size 6, but guess what? I am all right with that. Big hips, big legs and all, but these big hips and big legs and all have taken me into some amazing spaces and into some amazing rooms. And it is my joy to make sure and do whatever I can to make sure that I remain strong and healthy. But I know who I am. I finally know who I am and I'm all right with it. I know what I'm made for. I'm a talented girl. I'm multi-talented. There's not much you could put in front of me that I absolutely cannot do. There's a lot of things that I don't know, but I also know that I know how to figure things out. But that's not it. It's not about how talented I am, but it's understanding what I know what I'm made for, what I was sent into the world to do. I now know how I want to love and how I want to be loved. Whether it's with family, friends, or a significant other, I know how I want to be loved. I know how I want to love. And I'll have to say this now that I understand that love is my measurement for all things, that love is patient, love is kind, love is cannot fail, and the list goes on and on. According to what's laid out about love in First Corinthians, that is a measurement for me. And so, because of that, I know who to let in my space and who not to let in my space. I now know who I can do business with and who I cannot do business with. I can say no to things that do not align with me and don't feel good. I can say no without an explanation for those things that absolutely align, for those things that absolutely feel right and feel good. I can say yes without hesitation. And I only have the energy to be around people and spaces that want and need me in them. The days of trying to bust into a room and to prove that I belong there, I'm over it. Now, I don't know if that's an age thing, if that's just a coming of age or a knowing or coming to a place of awareness, or if this is just what love does. That I don't have to bust into a room and say, I deserve to be here. I only want to be in rooms because when you bust in rooms like that, and I think that over time we have maybe have had to do those things. But at this point in my life, I only want to be in spaces that want me in it, that need me in it. I only want to be around people that want to be around me and that need me or that I can learn from and vice versa. Now, like I said, this is just a short list that we could go on, but this is just a snippet for today. And I have to be honest, while I don't want to lose a lot of sleep on this, I have to be honest that I mourn the fact that if I only knew these things earlier in my life, I cannot begin to imagine how much further along I would be, or that any of us would be. That's just a real honest thought. In all transparency, but since I have no way, I don't have the mechanism to be able to know for sure how my life would have changed or how things would have been different, I take solace that I know it now, especially at this turning point of my life. Just turning 50? Oh, what? Just turning 50 at this turning point of my life. I feel like I'm in the middle of adult adolescence. But now that I know this, now that I know what love can do, what love is, that is the most powerful and the most atomic, the most diverse, the most creative, the most knowledgeable, the most powerful resource available to the human family, then I understand that God is a who and not a what. That love is a who and not a what. Because for me, God is love. Now, I can't define who love is for you, but understanding that God is love, and if there's no limitations in Him, there's no limitations in love. And to understand that He translated that love to the human family through and by the assignment of dominion, where we can be fruitful, we can multiply, we can subdue, we can replenish, we can have supreme authority, dominion. That everything that God is, love is, and then He had the nerve to put all of that into me to understand that I am love personified. There is nothing that I cannot do. I'm still learning all of that. I'm still learning what it actually looks like, what it practically looks like. And not just in my personal world, but in this entrepreneurial journey, how it applies to my work, how I can contribute to society, how I can contribute to my domain of industry, how I can contribute, how it these things practically even manifest itself even in our global economy. How to be able to take such information and package it in something to be able to give to the world in a way that it can be consumed. that will also bring me wealth as well as solve a problem. I mean, come on. So, well, I would have loved to have known a lot of this information when I was younger. I take solace knowing it now so that my latter days can be so much greater than my former days. That I can move through life, even though I may not know the future, I can at least move through life with an informed filter, as I mentioned earlier, about who to bring into my life, who to discard in my life, who I could do business with, who not to go into business with. Understand what is my space and what is not my space. But loving me and being all right with me the entire way. Not as if I'm perfect, but I can take the imperfections. I can learn from them. I can do my best to correct them. And those things that I know, those things that I know I can do, that can't nobody do it the way that I can do it, when I put my touch on it and not blink twice about it, this is what love does. And it doesn't mean that I don't have bad days. It doesn't mean that sometimes my thoughts can get away from me. But what it does mean is that what used could paralyze me for years or for days and weeks and sometimes years, and those thoughts that usually like to take up residence in my head, those days are now shortened to maybe hours. And those thoughts, they might run around loose for a few minutes, but they don't get to set up camp because I'm learning how to change my thoughts, that I am the owner of my thoughts. And my thoughts have to do what I ask it to do, not the other way around. That's the power of love. That my thoughts don't control me, I control it. So I take solace in knowing that love has changed me. Love has altered me. It has even altered me to the point where sometimes family, sometimes friends don't understand. And when I can say no and without blinking an eye, I get a lot of, are you serious? Absolutely, I am serious. And I meant it. I already said no. And when I mean yes, absolutely, yes. And I mean yes. And being willing to take bigger risks, being solid in love, anchored in love, means that I can take bigger risks. And it puts me in a space that if I'm successful, great. If I fail, great. There is no difference. So therefore, I don't have to be afraid to try anything. Because if it succeeds, amen, let's rinse and repeat and keep going. If it fails, amen, then let's see what needs to be adjusted and let's keep going. So I suppose that because love has changed me, for the better, and I'm still a work in progress. The foundation of my work, for anyone that knows me, know that I am passionate about employing love as the ultimate success factor to renew women's leadership mindset with fresh fire and purpose. Anybody that knows me knows this about me, that this is the mission of my work. And it's demonstrated in everything that I have to offer, whether it's in my books, whether it's in my coaching, whether it's in my motivational speaking, whether it's with some of my passion projects, with my podcasts, or that it is the primary work and the foundation of what I believe is why I was sent into the world, which is all encompassed with my love, the Success Factor Women's Leadership Retreat. That is where all the work is. Everything about love, from a purpose development point of view, from a knowledge, skills, and abilities point of view, from love and leadership point of view, from a women's equality point of view, to our ability to create and to generate wealth point of view. That's where all the stuff lives. And it's the foundation of my work. And the power of such a renewal, it allows us, where our mind is renewed by love and our leadership, and we come to ourselves and our ability, our innate ability to lead, that we're natural born leaders. When we are renewed like this as women, as leaders, we can affect true transformational change in our communities, in our domain of industry, in our global economy. Despite what our laws or our governments or regimes try to do to take women backwards, women, it is up to us. Our equality belongs to us. It begins with us. But the power of mind renewal through and by love, it helps us to be game changers. So I'm okay if the work for the remainder of my life is to share this truth, to share this awareness with as many women as possible. That's really all I want to do. That's really all I want to do. So, as I prepare to close this message here today, this impromptu message, I appreciate the question because it has caused me to kind of go back and to review the last 10 years of my life and to understand the work that I have put in and the work that's been required of me as far as purpose development. That it wasn't okay just to learn a particular lesson about love, but I actually had to live it. I had to be developed by it. And I'm still being developed by it. But understanding how it has changed me and understanding of the time and the effort I've put in to be able to create something that can be consumed by the world. whether it's in my leadership retreat or within my books, or even just these little talks here in this podcast space. If this is the work, if this is all I have to do for the remainder of my life, I'm all right with it. So, of course, I always ask that you all, those who are listening, to always join me on this mile of my journey. That you'll always be willing. You can do that, of course, by visiting my website, and to subscribe, to add a little fresh fire and purpose to your inbox, whether it's with my periodic communications called Fresh Fire and Purpose. But I also invite you to connect with me as far as with my Love the Success Factor initiative, because it is a combination of my newest book, My Journey to Wholeness, Love the Success Factor, the new edition. It also exposes you to my upcoming retreat tour, which is Love the Success Factor Women's Leadership Retreat Tour for 2026, wherein we will be in 6 cities that's geared towards gathering 12 women in 6 cities for one transformational experience. And even here, while this is the Women's Leadership Mindset series, these solo episodes I'm calling the Love the Success Factor initiative. So you can always connect with me on YouTube or in Spotify to be able to have these one-on-one conversations, or just being able to listen as you move along. So I encourage all of you to take a look at the bio to learn more about the Love the Success Factor initiative and how to be able to join in and be a part of that, whether it is with the book, whether it is with the retreat, whether it is just listening to the podcast. These are the ways that I have been able to harness love in the best way that I know how. And it will be developed as I evolve and develop. The more that I learn, the more I will share. But that which I have learned already is already at your disposal. And I'm excited to be able to join the elect women that chooses to join me, whether in North Carolina, whether in Georgia, whether in Florida, whether in Texas, or in Washington, D.C., to join me in one of these spaces so we can lay out the case of what love can empower us to do, and to leave with a plan and a charge for that next 2.0 level of our life. So, thank you for joining me. And as always, here's to the journey, and let's move forward.